Hi, everyone, and welcome back to How the Wise One Grows.
Everybody's learning, everybody's growing, everybody's got to start somewhere. How the wise one grows, how the wise one grows.
Growth happens when we learn to listen to our inner wisdom, the natural world, and the wisdom of those around us. And mindfulness is a lens that enhances our ability to truly listen and be with all that arises from moment to moment. This podcast holds space for you to listen, not only to the wisdom of others, but to the wisdom that lives deep within you. And as we practice this listening within ourselves, it's also important to remember that growth isn't a solo journey. Just like plants do, people grow best in community too. So know that each week as you tune in, you are growing within yourself and with all the others listening as well. So thank you. Thank you for listening and growing with us together. So if you haven't already heard, there is a new kid on the block called the How the Wise One Grows Dream Team. And this team is a group of listeners, could be you, who support the podcast every month. So if this podcast has been impactful in your life in any way, consider joining the Dream Team for as little as $3 a month, and you can help all the podcast dreams come true. And you can also help support this podcast by sharing an episode you love with a friend and giving us a review on your favorite streaming platform. So now that we've done all the housekeeping things, thank you for taking the time to land here with me today. In episode 61, we spoke with Eleanor Medina about how we can practice mindfulness with the moon to reconnect with ourselves and the natural world. So for today's meditation, this is going to be a practice that you can listen to during any phase of the moon cycle, but to use it as a way to check in with yourself and the ways in which you are connected to the natural world, and in particularly the moon. So as a general guide, each time you listen to this practice, and I hope it's something you download and play again and again, take note of the moon phases each time. And just kind of take note. Did you notice any patterns? What came up during this particular moon phase? And see if that pattern repeats over time. And just simply witness the changes. And this witnessing can be a great reminder that just like the natural world is changing every single day, so are you. So a little general guide that you can hold in mind as you practice this meditation as a way to reconnect with the natural world is the new moon is typically a time that is about darkness and stillness, going into the deep and the depths of things. It's a time to plant seeds and set intentions. And the full moon might be a time where there's a lot more energy going on, maybe both internally and externally. It might feel a little chaotic. So it's a good time to think about, what do you need to balance this energy right now? Maybe it feels good to be in that energy, or maybe you need more stillness. The full moon is also a great time to check on those seeds you planted and notice the ways in which they have grown and bloomed, and check in, nurture those seeds. Each time you practice, you're watering the seeds that you've planted. If you're getting really into this, I also recommend checking out the Astrology of the Week Ahead podcast with Chani. It is wonderful. And that can give you a guide more on what's going on in the sky as you turn to this meditation to practice. You can also check out episode 49 for a new moon meditation guided by me, and episode 61 for more on this moon meditation conversation. So for now, let's take a moment to connect by just noticing where your body touches the earth. And notice all points that are touching the earth. Let your spine lengthen. Allow the shoulders to soften down the back. And take a big breath in. And a big breath out. 2 more like this. Inhale, fill your chest, fill your belly with air. Exhale, open your mouth, let it out. 1 more inhale. And exhale. Take a moment to notice any sounds that you can hear right now. You can gently soften your gaze or rest your eyes if you haven't already done so. Notice any sounds that you can hear. Notice any sounds outside your home. Sounds inside your home. Maybe you notice the sound of the birds. Maybe feel the wind on your skin. Or notice the rustle of the wind as it brushes against some leaves. And notice how the sounds, the sensations of the world around you are changing from moment to moment. Looking at the changes in nature, in the sound, in the weather, and in the moon, we can be reminded that what we experience internally is going to fluctuate too. All things are subject to change, even me and you. So I invite you to witness the changes that arise from moment to moment. Witness the way the thoughts that pass through the mind change, the ways that the sensations that come up in the body change, the way that the breath changes, the way in which each one is a little bit different. And as you witness these changes, try not to resist what comes up. Can you take a step back and simply notice it? Just as you would take a step back and look up at the sky and notice the phase of the moon. And if anything that arises becomes too overwhelming, allow your awareness to expand to the sounds of the natural world around you. And remember that you do not have to carry all of this alone. That the earth, that nature, that the birds, the trees are here to carry it with you too. Know that you are held through each sensation that arises and everyone that passes. If you catch yourself caught up in one particular thought, can you take a step back? Can you unhook and witness any changes that arise as you do? And as all of these changes and fluctuations are happening, can you find that point of stillness, that point of steadiness to hold you in it? Perhaps this is your connection to the earth or your awareness of the breath. And return to that sensation of where your body meets the earth. And just take a moment to notice how you feel here. Notice if it's any different from when we began. And you can gently open your eyes as you return to this space. Thank you so much for taking the time to practice together today. And don't forget to look up. Maybe look it up on Google. Maybe look up at the sky and witness. What phase of the moon are we in? And notice how it changes from day to day. Just as the way you feel as you sit might change from day to day too.